Right, hello. Bit of a weird one, because I'm not quite sure how to, well, oh, thanks, Mike. To say I've got quite a strange bit of a station. It's not really finished. It's quite an interesting idea, and it's got some potential to be finished potentially on channel if people are interested in seeing a build finish. Which this one's got some potential. It's built a while ago, but it's not ancient, should we say? So yeah, we've got a space station. We've got some large ship docking pods. This one's larger. This one's a bit tight, but I suppose you could probably put a tugboat or something tiny in here. And the other side's clearly empty. Yeah, so there's quite a few interesting building ideas. I mean, this some strange pillar thing. That I mean, this is even more bizarre, but you know, it's an unfinished project. So let's have a quick look around on the inside. So having some sort of very odd docking port. We have tunnel and we have some mobility because a daft idea was having vehicles inside of a space station, which you could do. Switch with multiple around. Our voice is going. We have multiple around. Show around. Another tunnel. And yeah, so having a potential sort of movement base, sort of like golf cart, buggy, caddy, I guess. System would be interesting. And yeah, so there's also an above maintenance tunnel which just goes up and down. I'll show that later. But yeah, and we have rovers as well, which kind of work. They're a bit buggy, but you know, probably add a bit more mass blocks might fix that issue. So gravity generator. And let's just grab the camera, as I can see. Maintenance tunnel leads to the rock, and that goes that way. So to understand what else I had was sort of a road highway system, which would lead you down to multiple levels and sort of like an internal sort of like motor pool, I guess, is the best way to explain the rough idea. But yeah, there was a potential there for that idea to be used more. In fact, you drive around your space station, have like paths and stuff to be like pedestrian only. You know, it's kind of sort of a daft idea. So yeah, like I said, the station's a bit basic. Here's the entrance to that, and then that goes down here. So yeah, so we have what is a pedestrian cut through here, and this tunnel, which is quite nice. But yeah, pedestrian, and then the driving part. So you would drive around and sort of a mix of both. A couple of vehicles spotted around. With many multiple here. This leads into this corridor here, which just leads out to here. So whatever's going to be built here, then this vertical shaft potentially has some more usage. And then we have, if you remember last time I showed off this part of the station, which was built ages ago, as a sort of just bolt-on section. So yeah, there's not much to show off, but there is quite an interesting idea or two. So yeah, quite interesting. I mean, these vehicles are quite simple. I mean, it's actually, I don't think these are actually blueprint at all. Yeah, world exclusive. So what we have is some strange forward-facing six-wheel buggy. And this is a passenger version as shown. Probably get like a couple more seats. This is like too wide. Get like an extra seat in here with the new seats. The new offset seats, should I say. Stop yawning me. So yeah, it's quite a weird design, but yeah. Weight would be an issue, I would imagine. Putting weight in here and that would weigh down the back and... But the cockpit's also at the front, so I wonder... Don't remember how balanced this would be without, well, improper gravity, because with let's just have a quick show off. It is a bit of a rocking course in here, but it's quite stable if you ignore the fact it floats a bit. So it's basically a lot of tap 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 driving, but yeah. So free cargo containers potentially are 6 seats with the new seats might help. So yeah, so there's a quite a bit of potential to have some sort of, like I said, sort of driving sort of. Well, I guess it's transport roads, and yeah, you probably get the idea what I'm mentioning. There's not really a word to describe it, I guess. So pedestrian and roadways is basically the simplest way of putting it. And in a station would be quite interesting because then you have your large docks, you have your trucks, you sort of have. It's a bit like city planning, really. When you break it down, you have your more larger vehicles, your smaller vehicles, your bikes, I guess, and your pedestrian. It's quite an interesting idea if it took a bit further. So it could be quite interesting, and yeah. Is there anything else to show off? I don't think there is. I can walk down this tunnel. There's not too much to show off. Quite a dramatic tunnel and quite nice because it's kind of feels bulky. Also a bit weird because you can technically have a shootout here in this tunnel and a bit of cover. Potentially, but really the cover doesn't really work because if you have anything angled that way you're going to get shot anyway. Nope, enough a window yet. So, quite a strange bunch of bit of station, a little bit bolted on together a bit weirdly, but there's a potential for this idea to either be carried on or remade with a bit of a modern lens. There's actually the vent blocks which are new. We can have a quick look at later, but yeah, there's lots of passageways. There's definitely more ways to build now since this is like pre DLCs, a few DLCs I think so. So it's quite old this really, but it's not ancient where like some older stuff is very old and sort of pre me figuring out how to build. So yeah, this runs into a rock, so we can just pop out here. Wait, is this even? Is that Vox tooled? Vent? Duct. That's what it is. So potentially there is. Actually, I think I actually had a look at these in a. So there is a potential to either when still in gravity well we want to have a quick fly away and we're out of it. So as I said, technically you could have a duct like this, so which you would crouch through or like which would be up here. So yes, there is potential, like I said, for quite a bit more. So there's a couple more blocks now. There's a lot more internal potential and designs inside a conveyor. So didn't realise it was great. Now I've actually had a look at this block properly. I don't think, and then quite an interesting block to switch levels. So technically, if we have one of these on here, how does this play out? So it goes down. How do you... So you want it to go up, and then do you... So technically, you would want it to go up again. So how would you achieve that? Would that have to be... something monstrous like this? So it'd be... So you'd somehow have to... So that ramp's interesting, but it's a little bit limited. Like, we'd have to sort of have two subgrids to somehow cheese it to go up, which would be a sort of a potentially interesting feature for a map. Would be, yes, there you go, which is a missing block for this duct feature, so you can't exactly... But I suppose you could have a ladder or a patches system to sort of bypass that, because I don't think there's any vertical ducting, so you can't just go up, which is potentially the only thing I can complain about this, is that you can go half block down, half block up, which is alright, except for you can't climb, which is the sort of old Space Engineers videos used to have some interesting venting ideas back in the day, but they were hand built and massive, so yeah, that's quite an interesting idea for a space station. So we are missing a better ramp block, so probably a ramp 1 and ramp 2, sort of like these blocks, kind of where you'd have, well, like, so let's say this was a vent, standard vent half block, you'd then have your vent up, and then an open floor half block that would probably lead to another vent, or would you have to have another full vent, and then, yeah. So like I said, the idea is quite alright. So you'd have a normal vent, a ramp, a sort of, well, an open air ramp, or would it have to be that be open air into a vent? That would, yeah. So there is a potential for that. But anyway, I'm rambling now, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and any suggestions would be interesting, and yeah. See you in the next one. Cheerio, goodbye, and all that.